Today I'll be riding a 2019 Yamaha TTR 230. Go to the video description for links. It'll skip ahead to the interesting stuff on this ride. And the ride will be in Reiter. If you've never been up there, let's tour every single trail that the standard human being on a bike can actually ride. The full ride was 23 miles and it took me 4.5 hours. The staging area is way over here amongst these trails. However, those trails are 4x4 use only. Quads and motorcycles are not allowed, because we have our own area up here. We just have to travel approximately 2.5 miles up Deer Flats Road to get to it. For you professional power riders, here's the stuff at Reiter I don't show in this video. This half of the Gold Line Trail, and I don't show it simply because it's an extremely boring trail with a lot of close trees. The Challenge Trail has a lot of technical riding. Everything from extremely steep slopes, tight tree weaving, and severe route climbs. At the top of Reiter, you have Artzen's Way. I've seen a couple people get hurt on this trail. And by far the absolute worst trail at Reiter is called Hauser's Hollow. Neither man nor beast should actually try going up or down this. Oh, and there's also two pretty nice vistas at Reiter, but I didn't show them on this ride. I was more interested in trail riding. Okay, let's jump to the ride. Okay, I'm up in Reiter right now. I'm by myself. The reason being is I just did maintenance on the bike. Anybody that watched my last Capital Forest run? This screw right here fell out of my carburetor and fuel drained out of this line. And that brought a quick stop to my ride. So I ordered 5 new screws. I got one here. I put one in the drain tube here so that if it does fall out again, fuel won't come out of the drain tube, but I can pull it out of there and put it in here to actually stop it. And the holes, anyway. And I actually have one in my pouch here, one in my backpack toolkit, and one in the truck. So, yeah, I have a tendency to go overboard on making sure I never suffer a crisis twice. So anyway, because it costs so much money nowadays for people to actually go riding at, what do we lack? $6 a gallon is what I was seeing. I decided to come up here by myself and make darn sure my repair, because I was kind of worried, is it the screw that I didn't tighten all the way, or is the carburetor threads messed up? So I'm going to go out, and first thing I'm going to do is just going to do some of these forest roads, put some miles on the bike, bouncing, turning, and all that. And right now, anybody that's ever been to Reiter, the access road is huge. You park way down here, and then you drive 2.6 miles up Deer Flats Road. And I'm currently parked right here in front of this information sign where all the main trails start. And it's all downhill, so if I should brake, it's only a 3-mile walk, and I could coast most of it. And so anyway, I'll do some of these forest roads. Once I feel comfortable that the bike is still working right, I will go down, I think they call it Moose Tracks, which is this one here. And then I want to beat the bejesus out of the thing. A lot of bouncing to make sure that the screw stays in. And if you want to bounce, Graham's grade, this one right here, all the way up to here. That's a really rocky, bouncy one, so I'm going to bounce all the way up it. Then I told a friend, a man down riding who lives in Idaho now that I used to ride with, he saw the Sam's, stop it. He saw this on one of my Facebook posts, and say, hey, that trail looks a lot better than it used to. I go, oh, no, it's pretty bad. So I'll go ahead and I'll go down that. So we're going to start out with blue line. I like blue line. Oh, every time I ride, I take this and put it here. So I remember, before I start riding, to put gas in the bike. Yo! It starts so nice now. A while to get used to the bike again. I haven't ridden in months, probably 6 months maybe. Had some family problems. I'll just say that if you ever have anyone that you know that gets a detached retina in their eye, it's a truly horrible healing situation. Whoa. After the surgery, the person, what the surgery they do is they go in there and they insert either air or a liquid being an oil, because it floats. Just a minute. Ooh. Into the eye, seal it back up again, then they make the person, hang on, whoa, this counts as bouncing. Keep their head face down for like 2 weeks, and that's 24 hours a day. They have special chairs that you have to rent. And oh, by the way, insurance does not cover them. Oh, hang on. Whoa. Where you can sit in the chair, and they got like a little mirror. And you keep your head down, and the mirror lets you like watch TV through the mirror. So there's a little bit civility there. Then you have a special attachment so you can sleep on your stomach in the bed with your head down. And the whole idea there is this either air bubble or oil is going to float to the back of your head. Hold your retina against the back of your head and allow it to heal. So it's imperative that you always keep your head down. Which means, if you have a loved one that's going through this, you will be staying home and taking care of them. Because it's impossible to take care of yourself if you have to keep your head down. And if you're lucky, it works the first surgery. If you're not lucky, you might have to do the surgery, oh, let's pick a random number, at least 4 times. Woo! That was a fun trail. All right. I think the Redline trails are up here. Let's go hit them. We're doing Redline 2. Let's add some more injury to insult. never heard of the term glaucoma. Glaucoma is when you go to the eye doctor, everybody hates this part. And they say, put your head up right here. And they blast it with a big old puff of air. What they're doing is they're checking the pressure inside your eye. Because the eyes are supposed to have a certain amount of pressure in it, like 12 to 20 is the number, I think. And it's an extremely important number. If you have too much pressure in your eye, well, that can cause you to go blind. And that situation is called glaucoma. Whoa. Well, glaucoma can be caused by hereditary, or they have what's called trauma-induced glaucoma. Alright? Redline Trail 1. Trauma-induced glaucoma is exactly what it sounds like. You just messed up your eye so bad and put it through so much trauma that it's decided it's no longer going to be your friend. And it's going to have high blood pressure, or not blood pressure, eye pressure. Ooh. Okay, I'm starting to get the hang of this again. I feel myself speeding up just a little bit. But then again, this trail is so cotton thick and smooth, it's almost like a paved freeway. Redline 1, gotta love it. By the way, if you're a new rider, this is the place you want to go. You get to practice your rock jumping too. So, trauma-induced glaucoma. Well, every doctor that does eyes specializes. They don't have like a general anymore. You have your ophthalmologist. Their job is overall eye health. I'll check your pressure, check your prescription, and write you prescriptions. Anything's wrong, you gotta go see a specialist. They got a specialist that deals with detached retinas, and they have specialists that deals with glaucoma. Well, in the Seattle area, I say Seattle, it's Tacoma, Kent, and Seattle, which is Bellevue. They don't have a lot of glaucoma specialists available. Oh, that was a quick one. Let's continue on to just the Redline Trail. Doesn't have any number at all. Yay, mud! Well, when you get referred to the glaucoma specialist, most people want to do the one that's closest to them. Don't do that. Do your research. Find out what their history's like. Look at their, I don't know what you call it, Yelp reviews, medical reviews, peer reviews. Read all the, this is not good. So, we did the standard thing most people do. Oh, let's go to the one that's closer to us. There's one in Tukwila. We made the appointment. Oh yeah, we can get you in. Come on down. Turn. Whoa. Woohoo. Oh, standard 3-week wait. Get down there, walk in. Hang on. Oh, that was kind of tough. Doctor comes in and she looks at us and says, so what are you here for? This is what we referred to you for my glaucoma. She was like, what are you looking at? What are you seeing me for? I'm not a glaucoma doctor. Hang on, I don't want to get... This is looking a lot better than it used to. still wouldn't want to go up it. I fixed that a couple times, but apparently just putting rocks there won't help. I go, well, we called your office and we told them we need to see a glaucoma doctor, and you're the one they appointed us to. Oh no, you need to see Dr. So-and-so. Well, okay. Why did you guys all make an appointment for you? I don't know, I'm not running the front office. I go, well, can we make an appointment for her? And she goes, well, yeah, you can, but it's going to be a long wait. Why did you say that? Well, she prefers to have her own staff in the medical building instead of using the general staff. And her waiting period is like 4 months out. Like, wait a minute, we have to have high pressure for 4 months? Yeah. Well, that's not going to work for us. Oh, come on, Bill. So we go to our ophthalmologist, because the weird thing is you have to have, what do you call it? Referrals? Yeah, referral to go see any of these people. And we tell them, hey, look, check my pressure. Oh yeah, your pressure's real high. And the drops in the medication you're on aren't helping. And we said, well, we have an appointment with this other doctor. We really, really don't like her. Green line, let's do green line. And the ophthalmologist goes, well, you know, if you do not like your doctor, that has an adverse effect on your health. You should not see her. Let me make you an appointment. Do you want to go to Tacoma or Bellevue? I go, well, I'd rather go to Bellevue than Tacoma. Okay, he made an appointment for us. We got a hold of another doctor up there. We read up on his reviews, and the reviews are hilarious. Apparently the individual is 74 years old, I guess. It's like, wow, you must really like your job if you're still practicing at 74. And some people absolutely hated him, and other people said, this guy knows what the heck he's doing if you listen to him. So we went in there, made the appointment, and he got us in within like a week. And we figured out why some people don't like him. The gentleman is very, very gruff. Like, I'm here to do a job. You're broken. I'm going to fix you. I'm not going to be your friend. Oh, let's get this job done. And I can see that would turn some people off. To me, I loved it. It's like, all right. That's what I want from you. I want total professionalism. Fix us. And they put us on a new type of drug. Says first we have to see it's controllable by drugs. Oh, that drug's horrible. If you get put on a drug that's for glaucoma, be ready for a lot of really bad side effects. We came back for a follow-up, and we said, no, we absolutely cannot stay on these drugs. My family member, hang on. Woo, that was a tight turn. And he goes, well, it doesn't matter because it didn't drop your eye pressure anyway. We're going to have to do surgery. So now, what are we looking at? Surgery number 5? Yay. So, take care of your eyes, people. At the end of this trail. today, oh, and in case you watched the last couple rides I made, I wasn't telling any stories. When you've got family members that are ill, you get a little distracted. But now that we're all getting better, we can return back to happy life. Speaking of eye injuries, let me tell you a story about my eyes. I grew up on a game farm. We raised thousands of chickens and geese and guinea and quail and peacocks and exotic birds. Anyway, we said, you know, I'd like to have I'd like to have chickens again. So we went ahead and we picked up some chickens. I built a super mega coop. And they were our girls. We spoiled them rotten. We'd take them for walks around the neighborhood and they would follow us like a dog. Cars would stop, seeing somebody walking up the neighborhood with 5 chickens walking in a row behind them. I even put a video on my YouTube channel with it, about it. Woo. I'll post a little bit of it after this, Anyway, one time I was down in a cellar that I kind of have, and my head was just at ground level. And one of our favorite chickens, her name is Marcy, named her after my sister. Oh yeah, I have to check, make sure I'm not leaking gas. Looking good. No fuel in there. Woo! Let's see where we're at. Oh wow, look at that. I have done all of that. And that, I've done all these trails. Alright. So let's come up. Let's catch moose tracks. We'll go up. Stop it. And we'll do all these snake trails. I don't remember seeing a trail come off of here. Should be right around this area. Huh. So Marcy, she's one of our favorite chickens. And she's kind of pecking around. And she comes walking up to me to see what I'm up to. I go, well, hi Marcy, how you doing? We're sitting there having a very nice conversation, civilized and all. She gets up real close to me. She looks at me, and then her head whips out and she grabs an eye full of a beak full of my eyeball. Oh my gosh, that hurt. Apparently she liked it because it was shiny. Oh! You want to know the definition of pain? Have a chicken bite your eyeball. I fell back into my cellar. Where, oh wait, I see a sign. Alright, obviously I don't know this area as well as I thought I did. This says we should have a trail here that goes that direction. Alright, we'll do Redline 3 out. I'm embarrassed. Getting lost at Reiter. I hope Ron's not watching this video. Well, I did what most guys do. Oh, it'll get better. It'll get better. Well, until my whole eye swelled shut. And my bride says, nope, we're taking you to the hospital. And oh no, it's going to be horrible. It was 4th of July. You know how many frickin' fireworks injuries usually occur during 4th of July. We figure we're going to be there for hours just waiting in line. We get down to the hospital, and where's all the cars? Whoa. We go walking in, and it's empty except for someone at the admissions desk. We go walking up there, and the admissions people are so happy. It's like, oh, finally, somebody showed up. Wait, you're happy there's sick people here? Okay, back to the main road. I go, where is everybody? We expect everybody to have blown off toes and fingers. Yeah, so did we. That's why we're bored. Green line. I just did green line. Alright, I don't know what that red line is. Oh, we'll do it again. Put in gear, Bill. They say, so what is your injury? Does it involve fireworks? We go, no, it involves a chicken. Oh, we haven't had a chicken injury before. What happened? We go, well, a chicken bit my eye. They said, excuse me? I said, yeah, a chicken bit my eye. And they said, that must have been one really tall chicken. We all had fun with it. They took me back right away because, well, there was nobody waiting. And looked at my eye, and there was actually cuts in my eye from when the beak cut into my cornea. So, at least the only thing we can do is give you some drops to help kill the pain a little bit while it heals. And keep it covered. So, the weird thing is, just a sec. We got a spider on board. Spider ejected. Going for a free ride. They have these drops that kill the pain in your eye, and it's made out of a poisonous plant. I forget what it's called. I'll look it up. It's some sort of like nightshade, I think. It's like, this will kill you if you eat it, but we put it in the drops and put it in your eye. Anytime you've ever had your eyes dilated, they always give you 2 drops. Well, they almost always do. I had one doctor didn't give me the first drop. He was incompetent and I fired him. The first drop is this pain-killing drop, which basically numbs your eye because the dilation drop hurts like a son of a gun. And if you don't believe me, go to the ophthalmologist I had that put the dilation drop in without the numbing drop. I'm sure he's looking for a new patient since I fired him. Anyway, moving on. So, I had my share of eye injuries and it involved a chicken. Not a lot of people can say that. Oh, I posted a video about that too. Does that surprise you? Telling stories about Hawaii. I'd like to finish some of my Hawaii stories before I forget them. I am getting older. So we were living in Pearl City, and one of our vehicles that we had, I had a 1979 Honda Twin Star. I love that bike. And because both my bride and I are real short, small people, even though it was what was it, like a 180 or 250 something? I'll have to look that up. Been a while. 79. Yeah, been about 50 years, Bill. Anyway, it could handle both of us with no problem. So, we took this thing down to the Pearl City Mall. And we parked outside up on the roof of the parking structure. And the weird thing about Hawaii, if you live on a tropical island, I don't know if you could certify Hawaii as tropical, the rain is weird. It's not like Seattle, where you'll get 6 weeks of miserable drizzle. When it rains in Hawaii, It says, I'm going to get you wet. End of story. No conversation required. And it just pours. And then the pouring stops and the sun comes back out again. One time when we're living in the 41st floor of a high-rise, a rainstorm came through. It was raining so hard, I looked out the window and I couldn't see the ground. There were so many raindrops between me and the ground. But it rained while we were inside the mall. And this way back when they had video game arcades inside malls. Kids, if you're listening to this, there used to be a time when you had to leave the house to play a video game. I know, it's uncivilized. And it cost $0.25. Not some random token. Anyway. So it rained while we're in the mall. End of trail. We come walking outside. Okay, we're gonna go look for that trail. Bigfoot bypass. Alright. Spider webs all over my head. We left a whole bunch of them. Alright, where are we? Check the gas. Looking good. Let's do Bigfoot bypass. Okay. So we come out of the mall, go upstairs, and the bike seat is soaking wet. Oh! Like, darn! We don't want to get our pants wet. We look around, there's not very many people up there. Everybody wants to park down near the entrances so you don't have to walk so far. Ooh. This is interesting. I don't think I've ever been on this part of the trail. If I have, I don't remember it. Spider webs. Maybe I went through a whole nest of them. Alright. Obviously, that goes up the sand hill. I'm not going up it. I'll come down it, but I'm not going to go up it. So, I'm going to go that way. I think that's the trail. You see why they call it Sand Hill, huh? That's a quad trail, by the way. We look around. There's nobody up there that we can see. So I look at my wife. She looks at me. And I go, "You doing, hon?" She goes, "What?" "It sucks that I'm bigger than you." I grab a hold of her. I bend her over and I slide her up and down the seat. And I used her shirt to dry off the seat. She's fighting and kicking and screaming. She's having a mad time at me. And let's do this loop. We'll go down to Bigfoot bypass all the way out to the end. We had a good time. We stopped. The seat's dry now. She's wet. And we're putting on all our safety gear, our helmets and stuff like that. And pretty soon a security guard comes running up to us. And he says, "We just got a report that a woman was being accosted up here. Did you two see anything?" I look at my bride and she goes, "Huh." I go, "Hon, did you see a woman being accosted?" And she's got the perfect chance to get back at me. She goes, "Nope, we didn't see anything." Okay. Let's go back and take a left. But that was hilarious. A woman being accosted because I was using her as a chamois. I miss that bike. Alright, this time we're going to go Bert's Trail. Bert Gummer. Graboid Hunter. really nice place to visit, but it's not a nice place to live. If you think about it, the novelty wore off about 6 months after I'd been there. If I want to take a vacation, well, you need to leave the island and go to the mainland. And believe it or not, it costs the same amount of money to fly from the Hawaii to the mainland and back again. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Woohoo! Okay, we're back on Bigfoot's bypass. Okay, that direction is the one we were on originally when we went out and came back. So we're going to head out this way. Let me show you here. So here's where we did our little loop-de-doo. Now we're going to go out here and do the snake trails. After we put it in gear. I forgot what I was talking about. Hawaii. Oh yeah. So, really everybody says, oh, it's a tropical paradise. Well, it's only a paradise if you have money. You're not going to be going to luau's and all the cultural events and all that other stuff if you're poor. As in, if you're in the military, that counts as poor. Whoa. So, oops, I missed it. We'll go back. Ooh. Should be another snake trail up here. There you go. Blue snake. Avoid the mud. So when we're about ready to leave Hawaii, we moved out of our apartment, had all our stuff shipped, and we're staying in a hotel down in the Ilokai Hotel. And that's, there you go. Snake pit. Ooh. Oh, no mud. Ah. Cleaning this bike's gonna be easy. So we're staying at the Ilokai Hotel, and that's all right there on the waterfront. The main beach there. Totally brain-parted what the name beach is. Anyway. And we have a rental car because we've already shipped our car. We go down to the hotel or the parking structure to go somewhere. I'll go to grab the car keys. And I go, uh-oh, did you grab the car keys? No, I thought you had them. We look in the ignition. There they sit in the ignition. All the car doors are locked. Like, damn. Okay, Rattlesnake. Okay, this is the turn I just missed. And we're sitting there talking about it, thinking, well, if we were home, we could go get a coat hanger and try to get in that way. This is back when cars were real easy to break into. We see this local guy, he's just wandering through the parking structure looking at cars. And he comes walking up and says, you folks got a problem? We looked at him, he's local, he's nice, he's talking to us. Yeah. Sorry, I swallowed a bug. Bigfoot bypass. Alright, so we just came from that direction. We're going to go back up that way again. And this here is Graham's grade. That's going to be the tough one. And we explained to him, yeah, we're idiot tourists. We just locked our car, the keys in the car. Wouldn't that be fun if I crashed back there after I've successfully made it the first time? Okay, this time we're going to go to the right. Lots of rocks! This ought to count as bumpy. Ooh. He goes, well, I'll tell you what, I can probably give you a hand here if you promise not to tell anybody about it. We're thinking, okay, let's go back down to the main road. See if there's a snake I've missed. This is Graham's Grade, by the way. This is the gentle part of Graham's Grade. And we said, well, that's a strange thing to say, but yeah, we promise we won't say anything. Okay. What do we have here? Oh, I'm checking the fuel, make sure I'm not leaking. Screw's still installed. Nothing's coming out. We are. I'm going to declare this. No, can't declare good till we go up Graham's Grade. This is the main road we just came in on. And this is going out to, they just did a lot of work on that, and they fixed a really, really bad part of the trail. And this is Graham. Oh, look at all these bugs. Okay, I can't stop. Keep moving, Bill. Langley's Legacy, that's right. Graham's Grade. And there's a snake trail up here on the right that I didn't do, so we'll go hit that. It's right here. This is called, well, Snake Pit. I did do this one. Oh, we'll do it again. Oh my gosh, no, we didn't do that part. That was deep. Whoa, that was really deep. Sorry about the language, oh my gosh. Apparently it's part of Snake Pit we didn't do. There you go. And we said, nope, we promise we won't tell anybody. He reaches into his pants and he whips out a Slim Jim. Now, back in the old days, the younger kids may not remember this. Cars were really easy to... I hit that tree with my handles. That doesn't count as a tree hit since I didn't fall over. Ooh. Alright, back to the main road. Hills, rocks. Why, people, why? There are so many fun trails we can actually ride. But anyway, he whips out a Slim Jim. It's a device that you slide down between the window and the car door, and you hook the car lock, and you pull up on it. He slips the Slim Jim in. He does one click, boom, and the door opens. He opened the door on that rental car quicker with that Slim Jim than we could have done it with the key. So he said, remember, you saw nothing. We said, so, you just wandering around the parking lot, huh? He goes, yep, just admiring the sights. And you have a great day. You too. So, whoa! Whoa! That was too high of a gear. Okay. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to back down because I need a rest. Had a little bit too much wahoo around the corner. I need to go up that way. That looks like it's nice and soft. That shouldn't hurt too much when I fall on that. I don't know if I'm going to do all of Graham's Grade. How much testing of this screw do I want to do when I'm by myself? Because you can see that's some pretty nasty, gnarly stuff. but I'll assume that's the worst of it. Give it a little bit more time. Blue. We're just going to take our time. Oh! Woo! Ah. This is exhausting. Take a break. Whew. Ah. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Graham's grade. If you want to check to see if any screws are going to work themselves loose, this is your perfect test strip. Okay. Such a good job. Oh. Okay, this is the official end of Graham's grade. That's where Sand Hill starts. Oh my. We'll walk down a little first. Graham's grade actually goes up a little bit further and just stops at the hillside. Let me show you where we're at. We're right there. Let's go ahead and I'll head up there and I'll show you where the end of this one is. Then we'll turn around. Well, I'm pretty sure they don't have any logging trucks coming up and down this. Whoa, ow. Tell you what, somebody coming down would impale themselves on this. Oh. Let me see. Okay, come on, turn off. Yeah, let me fix that. This is not a good thing to have in a trail. Ugh. There you go. Well, I fixed one thing today. I always try to fix at least one thing. That one turned out to be easy. Walker, on the other hand, none of those fixes are easy. Now that I stopped on sand, let's see if we can get started again. Gently. Yeah. Oh, you're doing so good, I'll even give you second gear. Ooh. Good job, Blue. And here is the top. First gear, kill it. Yeah. You probably want to stop before you continue on down this route. Back down the sand hill. Hey, look, somebody's been up this trail recently. What's that say? Stop. Active logging. Wait a minute. That makes no sense. There is no access from this side. Really, people. You need to take your signs down when you're done logging. Cable across trail, active logging. And is there a date on there? Of course not. Hey, Department of Natural Resources. Can you please finish the job when you're done by taking all your signs, nets, and barriers down? That's why people ignore you, because you leave that stuff up. Ugh. We're right here. Sandhill. Man, those tires are doing good. Suppose you want to change the name to Rock Hill? Huh. Wow. Whew. Thank you, tires, for doing your thing. Whew. All right, let's get back on the road. It's starting to get really warm out, especially doing all this exercise. Oh, go, go. Oh, I remember the name of that beach that we were staying in. The Ilokai Hotel is on Waikiki Beach. Tell you what, people, getting old sucks. They say your memory's the second thing to go. Nice, look at this. And believe it or not, this is a quad trail. I personally would not want to bring a quad up it. That would be a tough, tough ride. But you're starting to see why at the bottom I said there's no way in heck I'm going to go up it. I did come up this one time. Almost went off the cliff. Ooh. Well, exposure, cliff. It all looks the same when you're falling. Ooh. Oh, that would be tough on a quad. Woo. Go, 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 go. A little bit faster to keep your balance. Front brake and back brake. Yep, yep, yep. Boy, this is a tough trail. I'd say coming up this would definitely qualify as expert. Oh, I gotta start the noise-making machine. Noisemaker activated. Ugh. Not in a hurry. Go slow, take your time. Woo. Pick your route. Don't hit that tree. I accidentally goosed it. Whack. Yeah, I just got a text message. So, I like riding in areas where we still have cell coverage. I have my sat phone turned on just in case, but it's always nice to be in touch with people. Especially when you're stupid enough to be out here doing this kind of stuff by yourself. Okay, what kind of adventurous person's the one that came up with this trail? Huh? I see the bottom. Oh, these are some big... Oh, these are gnarly. Oh, I wonder how many oil pans that rock has taken out. Put in gear. Short legs. Short legs. Whew. They don't reach all the way down to the ground. Woo-wee. Hey, this looks familiar. Look at that. Let's go ahead and head back out to the main road. Then I'm going to see if I can find that entrance to Moose Tracks. Ugh. Ow. Oh, bummer. I hit my freaking brake. You okay? All right. Okay, back to the main road. Let's make sure we've done everything out here. Where are we? We're right here. What is that? Let's go up and look for it. Looks like it's up here on the left-hand side. Alright, that's Bigfoot bypass. Okay, so that's part of Bigfoot bypass that we haven't done yet. Let's go do it. Let's talk talking about Hawaii and the police out in Hawaii. How do we say this politically correct? The police aren't exactly your, there you go. So last time we went that way. Your most outstanding citizens on the island. And the crime is pretty bad, especially automotive crime. And when I was out there, the police had such a tendency to actually not follow any of the laws that they were enforcing that it became quite a, almost a revolt. Alright, so we have not done this part of Bigfoot bypass. That trail goes up the sand hill. So, all the local radio stations got together and said, look, if the mayor's not going to put this police department in check, the people are going to have to do it. So all the radio stations put out their number and says, anyone who sees a cop doing anything illegal, call this number and we'll put it on the air immediately. We'll even break into newscasts for it. And people started calling in and says, yeah, I just had a cop go shooting past me doing 85 and he didn't have his lights on. They were really big into speeding. Okay, there you go. We're back in normal spot. Okay, wait a minute. So we did that. So let's head on out. Go over here, take a left, and hit this part right here. So left, then straight. Bert's Trail. And it got pretty bad. It's like so bad that you couldn't turn on the radio without a constant stream of what the cops are doing wrong and where they're at. And it was car numbers were being reported. Finally, I guess the mayor had had enough. And he must have done something about it, because all of a sudden the radio stations stopped reporting on this stuff. Whether or not they got down and they brass-knuckled the radio stations to tell them to stop, or he fixed his police department, I don't know. But I can tell you my experience with the police department afterwards. We were, my bride and I were at the beach, and we come back up after a day of fun in the sun, and we see a car on the side of the road, and the windows are all broken out, and there's some really distraught looking people there. We say, hey, can we help you guys? Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's fix that. Ha 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 ha. Wow. Especially, I'm really careful about this stuff, especially after I just posted when I almost lost my eye to a stick down in Tahulia. There you go, people. You're not going to hit that anymore. Did I see a bear? Let's just say no and happily live in denial. Turns out it was some newlyweds on their honeymoon, and it was a rental car. And their honeymoon was going to Oahu. It's like, oh man, how much does that suck? We said, well, tell you what, we're headed into town. We will find a cop, and we will send him back here for you. I said, thank you very much. We're going to stay with the car and make sure nothing else gets stolen. Because they lost everything. They lost their cameras and their wallets. So we get into town, and we see a cop sitting on the side of the road with a radar gun. We pull over, we go walking up to him. Says, hey, a mile and a half up the road, on the left-hand side, there's some tourists that are in distress. Their car got broke into, and they need help. Okay, let's go find Bigfoot. I think it's right down here. The cop looked at me and says, I'm on traffic patrol. When I'm on traffic patrol, I do nothing other than traffic patrol. All right, let's go find Bigfoot. This bike has so much more power than it used to since the day I bought it. Which means when I bought this bike and I bought it used, those valves were out of adjustment. That's what it turned out to be. All my problems I were having were the valves were out of adjustment. Moose tracks. This is the one I was looking for. We're right here. And it's going to take us back to the main area that we were at. When I get there, I want to see where that's at. This is a really nice trail. So this cop says, I'm on traffic patrol. I don't do anything other than traffic. I go, wait a minute. You'd rather sit here and give people tickets than help someone who's in distress? Isn't that your job, to help people in distress? He goes, no. My job is to give people that are going too fast tickets. Now, get out of here or I'll bust you for interfering with police. It's like, wow. Okay. So we head on into town to look for another. What was that? Anyway, to look for another police officer. And lo and behold, we drive past the police station. Say, oh, I bet we find a cop in there. We stop, we go into the police station. And there's a cop in there, and he's got his feet up on the desk, and he's reading the newspaper. And when we walk in, he knows we're there, with the doorbell dings and all that crap. And he doesn't even drop the newspaper. He doesn't even acknowledge we're there. Ooh, Bill almost went for a dive. I hit that rock, almost went into the stump. I said, excuse me. And through the newspaper, he says, what do you want? Well, we're here to report that some people need some help. He goes, what do you want me to do about it? He goes, aren't you the police? Yeah, but I'm stationed at the desk. I only do desk duty when I'm at the desk. I go, okay, I understand. Can you at least call somebody who's willing to help these people? He finally puts the paper down and says, if it'll make you go away, I will. It's like, really? This is Hawaii police that we're talking about. And I said, yeah, that'll make us very happy. He goes, okay. And he picks up his radio and he makes a call and tells somebody to go look for these people. And we're like, that was ridiculous. Now I'm really kind of pissed. It's like, why are we paying these people? Anyway, moving on. So I get home, and this is back when we were young. I was probably in my 20s? Let's see. Yeah, I was in my early 20s. And that's actually back when and at that age, you think you can actually make a difference in the world. You haven't learned better like I have now. So I said, I'm going to fix this. These cops don't want to do their job. Let's get some people in there that will. So I sat down and I wrote a really nice letter. And I explained the whole situation to the mayor. Honolulu mayor. I think it was. Anyway, either there or the governor. One of the two. Probably the governor, because this didn't happen in Honolulu. I mentioned it's 20 years ago, which is 40 years ago. Or I was 20, which is 40 years ago. Anyway. Woo. There's still water on this trail. That's good. And I explained it to him. I says, look, if you're not going to have police officers willing to do their job, and we're all familiar with what the radio has been putting out about how the police officers are actually some of the worst crooks on the island, what exactly are you doing in your job? Isn't it your job to keep these people in check? And I sent it off. And I didn't think anything about it. About a week later, I get a doorbell. So ding, ding. Whoa! I go to the door and I open it. And there stands some guy in a suit. I've never seen him before. And some kind of cop. Pretty high up. He's got all this brass and braid and stuff on, you know, some sort of dress uniform, at my door. I go, uh-oh, this doesn't look good. And they all stopped and they looked at me and said, "Are you Mr. Lowe?" I go, "Yes, I am." He said, "Well, I'm so-and-so, and I represent," we'll just say it was the governor's office. "And this is so-and-so. He's in charge of the police department. The gov has asked us to swing by and discuss a letter that you wrote to him. We would like a little more detail." And the entire time, this cop, he's sitting there, he looks pissed. He's so angry. The entire time he was standing there, he stood there with his hand on the gun. Okay, let's take a look at our gas. All right, I'm going to certify my bike is fixed. All right, let's go back and do some of these trails here. Which means to get to them, I'm going to go down Blue Line. Because I can ride a road or have a nice trail. And every trail is 2 different trails depending on what direction you're going. So, it was very clear to me that this cop was there to simply intimidate me. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, so now I know what they did about the radio stations. But, being 20 years old and I didn't intimidate real well. And I asked the mayor guy, I says, "Hey, the representative," I says, "would you mind if you and I continue this conversation?" Whoa! Without Mr. Hand on Gun here, because I really don't feel comfortable with him having a gun and me not having a gun. He turned and looked over at the guy, and then looked down and saw his hand on his gun. The guy, he got real pissed. He turned around and walked away. And I finished my conversation. And the representative says, "Yeah, I will definitely look into this, and we'll see if we can't get this problem resolved." I go, "Can you at least tell me if those people ever got help?" He goes, "No, I don't know anything about that. We'll get back to you on that." Of course they didn't. So that tells you something about the cops in Hawaii. Whoa. I was talking about our last days there in Hawaii. Our very last day. My bride and I, we went out and we hung out in the water on the beach next to our apartment. Had a great time. We're laying there on the beach, trying to warm back up again, looking out over the water, and right where we were swimming, we see this fin come out of the water and start going back and forth. I was like, holy crap! Was that guy in there the entire time we were in there? I thought that was kind of a fitting send-off Hawaii sent us. Like, okay, your last time in the water, let's show you what was in there with you. Now, it didn't bother us, but, you know, it could have. And I know that because I saw the movie Jaws. This is so fun. Lean into it. Outer limits is right down here.